Sponge balls.
Woohoo! For her Asian pleasure.
Monkeys never claps. Monkey never claps. I need 3 bananas because monkey never claps.
Not even in my voyeurism wet dreams.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Hey, welcome to the Big Fat Podcast from Thanksgiving week. It's the injury podcast because everybody's going down.
Yep. Sooner or later, it'll be your guy.
Yeah, not in your wet dreams.
No, not even in my voyeurism wet dreams.
Mm-mm. Only if you're an exhibitionist. That's it.
Wow. That's sounding so good.
That's what exhibitionism sounds like.
Woohoo.
Sponge balls. Yeah, so a lot of people got injured this past week. I don't think I have a sample that works here. I mean...
Oh, God.
This is a certified hood classic.
Nope. Yeah, that works. You know who that was this past week?
Joe Burrow?
No, that was Brian.
Oh, Brian, yeah. I mean...
Brian, R.I.P. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
You a triple loss.
Might have put him out of the playoffs. Quadruple if you count Jamar Chase as
basically a quad loss.
Losing Joe Burrow because he's got that beautiful stack. Well, not anymore.
No, now it's a Browning stack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, lots of people went down. It means a lot of other guys got opportunities when they never really do normally get those opportunities. So if you're looking on the waiver wire this week, you're going to see names like Khalil Shakir. That's not a real person.
Yeah, Isaiah Likely. A lot of people are going to go after him.
Isaiah Likely story.
Yeah, Mark Andrews owners, maybe.
Yeah, and who else? Well, 2 Khalils on the waiver wire. Well, Khalil Shakir and Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert's probably not on the wire, but if you're a Herbert owner, it might be...
Yeah, DeVonta Foreman went out like in the first quarter, right?
Yeah, for the last time, bro. I'm not going to tell you again. His name's DeVonta. There's no V in it.
DeVonta
I'm going to kick you off this podcast.
I actually think I said DeVonta Foreman.
We'll check the tape.
Okay.
I'm gonna add some.
I think I just say it fast.
You want to do a tall boy bet on what we already recorded?
I think I just say it fast, and you think I'm saying DeVonta, but I'm saying DeVonta Foreman.
You definitely threw a V in there. We're not gonna stop the recording here, but
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just an epic denier and trying to prove myself right.
Yeah, you can afford it when your team's that good.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, you got a deep bench. A deep voyeur bench. Yeah, so I guess wrapping up the past week a little bit. It's Monday right now, November 20th, 11:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The weather outside is partly cloudy. Air quality index is around 269 here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana, United States. Earth, solar system, Milky Way. And what was the point? Oh yeah, week.
You forgot universe.
Universe. Well, I don't think there's a. I mean, how can you have an address universe? Because that implies there has to be other universes to like.
Well, there are multiverses.
Okay, so, but what do we call this universe?
Universe.
What do you call the other ones?
Universities.
Oh man, Brian, I hope you're enjoying this one on the way home from work. Bro, okay. Yeah, man. Sorry about your team. That sucked. We should just call this the Brian Shepard Memorial Pod.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm the one who beat him this week, and I do feel bad because he would have definitely beat me. I mean,
do you really feel bad?
No, but I mean,
it's like you wanted to win in a fair fight. You wanted like Kobe and Shaq, or you wanted Jordan and like Karl Malone to go up against each other in their primes. You don't want them to You don't want them to break their foot, and then you'll never know who's really the greatest.
Yeah.
No, that's not what you. No. That's what I wanted, but that's not what you wanted. Like, yeah, this was supposed to be a quick pod.
Well, let's get in the waivers. I mean, who do you think is going to be a good?
I don't know. I was just trying to wrap up the week, and then I gave an address and a zip code for the entire universe. So
yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Not the other universes.
Basically, the theme of the last week, this past week 11, was injuries. A lot of hot performers. I mean, there's some duds. I guess nothing out of the ordinary except a bunch of injuries. Teams that were on bye are coming back next week. No buys. So yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, for Thanksgiving, the first Black Friday game.
Right. That's why we're doing the mega cast here, because the first Black Friday of the game of the year. Yep. You can watch
first Black Friday NFL game ever.
Right. You can watch the game from your 6 a.m. Walmart line when you're camping out in your tent. You wake up.
NFL Prime or Prime Video.
Yeah, Amazon Prime. Bring your mobile TV to your tent.
So
yeah, we can get into waivers right now. Let's do it. I'll hit these buttons here. I mean, we've also got a bunch of audio at the beginning that's like junk audio, so no, we're doing good on time.
Yeah. So, what do you feel about streaming quarterbacks this week? We had some fairly good performances.
Phone charger, bro?
Sure. We can.
Is it USB-C?
Yeah.
Okay. No, we're not editing this out. This is quality content.
Yeah, it's all good. If it dies, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, Tommy DeVito, he went from Danny to Tommy.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this. Nope.
I'm a man.
Nope.
You fool.
Yeah. You. I wanted to download a new DeVito drop for him this week, but I didn't.
Yeah.
You know why he did that? You know why he was so good?
Because he talked
to his mom made his bed.
Oh, yeah.
And he got up on the right side of it.
Yeah. He's no longer a beta. Actually, I feel like it's the best matchup you can get in the NFL for quarterbacks facing Washington. So, I mean, he obviously had, that going for him. But two, it's like, he's finally getting experience under his belt. He's a rookie, not expecting to get to start, I mean, obviously you're going to get better with time, no matter who you are. Meaning you're going to have your bad games. But, yeah, I mean, I don't look at him as a streamer still, but I do think, if you're super desperate in 2 quarterback leagues, I mean, he's going to have a fairly decent end of the season matchups with the Rams and Philly for your playoffs, hopefully.
Are you talking about DeVito and the Giants offense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you up then on Darius Slayton and Wandale?
Yep. I mean, they're so far down rostered. I mean, you're really not going to worry about picking them up until they have those good matchups. If you want to stack those guys, it's pretty much such a deep league. I mean,
yeah, I think they're for deeper leagues only.
Yeah, you're not really.
I don't know if I'd even see a 12 team.
Yeah.
Maybe at the back end of 12 teams, but.
Yeah, I mean, Darius Slayton had a good week because obviously Tommy. But yeah, Jordan Love had a decent week fantasy wise. I mean, but I still don't trust him. It was the second best matchup in all of NFL with the Chargers. So I mean, all 3 fantasy wide receivers were for the the Packers, not the Bears, were fantasy relevant. So, in these good matchups, you at least know that they can perform.
Yeah, Christian Watson got a touchdown. Dobbs did well with 16, and Jaden Reed did well with 19.
Yeah.
So they all did well. Dobbs is more of the safer guy. Consistency. Jaden Reed has the upside. And what I really loved to see from Jaden Reed was his rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
And, they used him as a rusher in a few sweeps, which was really
They just see his talent.
And cool.
So, they just see his talent, so they're going to try to get him the ball any way they can.
Yeah. I mean, he's on my team, and I might throw him in a few weeks, but, still risky. I still think all three of these guys are risky.
Oh, yeah.
But, definitely worth it. Any of those three, definitely worth it over any of the hot waiver pickups this week. Worth it over Khalil, Slayton, Chandler, Johnson, John Oliver.
Yeah.
Last week tonight.
Yeah. That was last night.
Huh?
That was Minnesota
Josh
last night.
Oliver?
Yeah, that was last night, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, if you want to just cut it quick, I mean, Ty Chandler is the only waiver target, if he didn't get picked up last week, that I would really be putting fab on.
Would you actually put much on him, though? I mean, personally, I wouldn't, because he's still splitting with Madison.
Yeah, but I think they see his talent as better.
Yeah,
and
he's a stud, man. If he was the 1A, I would love it.
Even with limited touches, he's getting way more rush yards per carry. He's just a better talent. I mean,
think he can turn into Jaylen Warren by season's end?
Yeah. I think if you need a running back, a stash, that's who you go, and you put 10 to 15% of fab down for him.
You just want me to blow more fab, don't you?
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to get you to do anything. I'm just suggesting for those who just want a little bit of...
There are teams in our league that could really use Ty Chandler. That's true.
I mean, I just think it's funny, and my wife always says, like, there's no one to pick up, and it's like every week there's someone that could potentially be picked up, but you just choose not to because they're hardly no-name.
Yeah, when she
people.
says to you, there's no one to pick up on the wire, what's actually coming through, what she's actually saying is, I don't listen to your podcast, husband.
No, I mean, she might, but I doubt it.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I think she just doesn't want to lose because of me, and that's what usually happens, and it's just unlucky.
She'd rather lose based on a player that she picks up
Yeah.
of her own accord than...
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's... I mean, that makes sense, but...
even if I endorse the player that she's saying that she's going to pick up.
Yeah, you could just give her advice. She listens to the pod and listens to the advice that we give on players to pick up. We never give advice really on start sit. Actually, that's not true. We do that every week.
Yeah.
but like she
David
can make those
Montgomery.
decisions on herself, on her own.
Yeah.
Just listen to us for who she wants. Just listen to the waiver section.
Yeah.
And then like she can decide start sit.
Yeah.
That would be a lot better than just winging it. But anyway, so quarterbacks to pick up. If you're a Joe Burrow owner, journey kind of sucked. So who are you gonna look at? You looking at Jordan Love after his nice performance?
I mean, that's the only guy that I would. I mean, that's the only guy I would really look at. I mean, maybe Josh Dobbs. He's 72% rostered now, but that's kind of I would not go after DeVito or I mean, maybe Gino, if he was fully healthy, I'd rather have him. But he's now hurt. I don't know what his elbow injury. It might be week to week.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Gino's not looking good as far as a pickup goes. The health and just inconsistent play. Baker Mayfield, disappointing performance against the Niners. I mean, he's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup against the Niners always. So
yeah, he gets the Colts next week. Middle of the road. I mean, his schedule is not great. Matt Stafford was another disappointing performance. Russ Wilson got 14 points this past week. The Minnesota defense is pretty good, but they play, I think, Cleveland next week. So, yeah, they play Cleveland this coming week. I wouldn't start Russell Wilson against Cleveland.
Offenses have been just feasting off of Detroit's defense, and Jordan Love plays Detroit, so that's who I'd go for if you.
Yeah, I would go for them. I mean, they're going to have to pass. Have to pass against Detroit, and so I mean, for that reason, I also think the Packers receivers are good plays this week. I think I'm going to play Jaden Reed this coming week. But yeah, it's looking like Jordan Love and not really anyone else that is low owned. You could shoot your shot with DeVito. I can't really say that. I can't actually say that.
No.
I mean, they get it. He played Washington, so that was. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence really beefed it up.
Yeah,
that was good to see from him.
Yeah, finally.
Took him 11 weeks to come through, but.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it's a flash in the pan, though. I don't think it week to week it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so really that's it for a quarterback. It's bare bones. I mean, Josh Dobbs got 17 points, but he's up to 72% owned in Yahoo. Will Levis, 29% owned, but did not do that well and hasn't done that well since his first game. So
yeah, we should be calling him Lil Levis when he does bad. And
Lil Levis.
Lil Levis and Will Levis. Yep.
Yeah, all right. Well, okay, let's move on to talking about. I mean, we can do all of the other guys in one segment.
Well, yeah. I mean, we already kind of.
We pretty much did talk about all of them. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, as far as defensive streams, that's pretty much the only thing we haven't talked about.
Tight end streamers. I mean, we already got running backs and wide receivers. It's really Ty Chandler and nobody else. And I mean, Khalil Herbert if he's on your wire.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, any of the Packers if they're out there. But yeah, that's it. And so we can talk about defenses.
Are you kidding me? That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage. Where are we at?
So I've been scoping out good defensive streams, attempting to kind of shuffle a roster to defenses, scope out the following week and the rest of season schedule, because this is the time of the year where that's getting important.
Yeah.
I was looking at Denver.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, but I dropped them while I was watching Sunday Night Football. They play the Giants next week. But the thing is, their pass defense was great. Surtain shut down Jordan Addison last night.
Oh, yeah.
But their run defense was Swiss cheese, and they got to play the Giants and Saquon next week. So I don't love that. Now, the Giants are one-dimensional.
They play Cleveland next week.
Whoa! Oh, they do. They do play Cleveland.
Are you talking about the end of season? I don't think they play.
The Patriots play the Giants next week.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, I don't see the Giants on their roster or their schedule the rest of the year.
Right. Yeah. So the Swiss cheese Denver D. That you just have to worry about Jerome Ford if you think he's gonna go through him, and he's no Saquon. So I mean, yeah, I would actually play them since they're playing the Browns. I would play them against the Browns. I would not play them against the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the rest of the season, I mean, you're really only worried about teams that have a prolific scoring offense because they don't rely on turnovers too much. I mean, they can get some, but they really are relying right now on low scoring and sacks. So you're really your best scoring option for this defense will be like 9-10 points, limiting and getting some sacks, because you're right, their rush defense isn't the greatest, even though it's been getting better. But
It
yeah,
didn't look better last night.
yeah, it ebbs and flows. You're right, but
I mean, Madison and Chandler just tore him up.
yeah,
But
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, Houston, you got Singletary and the week after Cleveland, then you got the Chargers with Eckler, who's not been doing so great. Then you got Detroit with Montgomery. I mean, if they can limit the scoring but still allowing their rush yards, I could see this defense being held the rest of the season. But yeah, I mean, they're not going to get you 20 points in a week. I mean, their best outcome was 17, but that was a rough weather game against Kansas City. But yeah, I mean, for next week, I love this stream because I actually don't think you have a higher upside of turnovers with DTR, and I actually don't think Drum Ford and Kareem Hunt are that amazing. So
okay, yeah, I think it's pretty decent. I was just pretty like looking at him last night. I was just like, oof, I don't want to start this. I mean, if Josh Dobbs and company could carve up their run defense like they did last night. I mean, it wasn't the worst defensive showing, but it was kind of like 7-yard run, 8-yard run, 9-yard run. But my situation, I also have Cleveland, so I'd rather start Cleveland's D on the other side of the ball against Denver. Yeah, other good ones out there. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gets Indy, but Tampa Bay didn't really do well this past week. Minnesota against the Bears, only 29% owned. And their D did pretty well against Denver this past week. Limited scoring. They get the Bears. So that really comes down to your belief in Fields' ability to come back from his injury and play well.
yeah,
Again. But Fields is usually good for turnovers. And their running back situation is up in the air, the Bears. So I like Minnesota there.
I like Cincinnati streaming them. They got Pitt.
Against Pitt?
Yeah. Low scoring offense. I mean, they're not going to turn the ball over that much, so it's really just hoping to limit them the points wise and get some sacks, which they can.
The Browns defense just played Pittsburgh and got 7 points, so a meager showing, but it was a low scoring game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Trey Hendrickson, I think, is out the rest of the season, so maybe you don't get as many sacks as you think in your will.
What do you think about New England's defense against
I do like
Danny DeVito?
I don't think they're going to goose you. I mean, it's not a great defense, but Bill Belichick will humble this kid. He's definitely going into this game wanting to humble this young kid, just knowing he had a great game against Washington.
Yeah.
So
He wants that young guy to get caught on the Ring doorbell camera with his shirt off, just like he did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you can start New York's defense against New England too. I mean, they're not going to goose you either. I said that against Las Vegas and Aiden O'Connell, and they got -1. But I mean, last week against Washington, 23 points, and New England's even a better matchup, and they have Bailey Zappi starting instead of Mac Jones.
Has that been officially, released that
They won't officially
announced?
release it, but it is.
Zappy is
I'm
going
calling
to...
it. I'm calling it.
You're probably right.
I mean,
I
Mac
feel
Jones.
good about DeMario for that reason. But
Yeah, Mac Jones has lost the locker room.
yeah, that's what it seemed like the last game that they played before their bye. Yeah, so those are some good streamers that we're recommending there. New England against the Giants and the Giants against New England as well. Cincinnati gets Pitt. Minnesota against Chicago. And out of all those, I like Denver, I think, the best.
Yeah. And again,
Denver against Cleveland.
yeah, and again for waivers, I think, yeah, it's really just Ty Johnson. Not Ty Johnson.
Oh, Ty Johnson is the Jets. You mean Tyler Chandler.
Yeah, Tyler Chandler.
T.Y. Chandler. Okay, cool. That's it for
Really?
waivers. Let's get into the matchups here.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
All right, let's kick it off with Thursday night Thanksgiving shebang. Thursday afternoon, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Green Bay Packers face off against the Detroit Lions. The over/under in this one is 47.5. That's pretty high over/under. Do you think they're going to hit it?
37.5?
47.5.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think they'll hit it.
Yeah, Packers are going to be slinging it against the Lions, and the Lions, well...
I think the past 3 games, the Lions have been... That's been an over.
Yeah.
Whatever game.
The Lions' offense is cooking right now, for sure. Yeah, so let's start on the Lions side. What do you think about Goff here?
I mean, he's streamable because it's a good matchup, but you were kind of upset with all the turnovers this past week, and I mean, that was at home as well. So you like to see a game at home though with a struggling quarterback because you know he'll be able to bounce back. I think you stream him, but I mean, if you have better options, I mean, I would rather start like C.J. Stroud over him, or you know.
Yeah, if you're like a Joe Burrow manager, in desperate need, like, I mean, he's good enough. I would prefer to start Love on the other side of the ball if you're in need of a quarterback, but Jared Goff, I think you could do worse. And then Amon locked in your lineup.
Oh yeah, always.
Yep, always. I don't think he scored less than 20 points in PPR a game this season. And then what about the other wide receivers in the Lions? I mean, Josh Reynolds or Frick? Who's the dude that Mike dropped 30 fab on?
Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is looking interesting. I mean, because he scored a touchdown finally. He's getting incorporated into the offense. I mean, he's got that talent to be a wide receiver too. So, yeah, I mean, he'll usurp Josh Reynolds easily by the end of the season. But I'm not really starting him this week based on Laporta. He's going to get his. I mean, he had a bad week last week, and not because their offense didn't perform. It's really just Jahmyr Gibbs getting a lot of targets. They're using him and David Montgomery in the rushing game. So, I mean, it's just there's not enough in the pie yet, I don't think. And the way they're going to attack, I mean...
Yeah, it's promising. I mean, his end of game score fantasy points was
12.
promising. Yeah, based on a touchdown, but he still only got 3 targets in that game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you want to start a guy that's... I mean, he had one game with 6 targets, but other than that, it's been 3 pretty much every game. So you don't want to go there. And then the running back duo. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is locked in your lineup for sure at this point. He's taken over as the head of that 2-headed monster. But David Montgomery's no slouch either.
Yeah, I can see David Montgomery vulturing some touchdowns and it flip-flopping like to being David Montgomery in the 20s and Jahmyr Gibbs in like the 15 area. But, I mean, big deal. They're both fantasy viable, and I think Jahmyr Gibbs got more of the talent, the youth. So it's going to be great to see them both succeed the rest of the season.
Yeah, both in your lineup. And then you already said it, Sam Laporta. He's an every week starting tight end at this point. And then the Detroit Lions defense against the Packers, you want to mess with them?
I mean, it's an okay matchup. It's pretty decent, but I think it's such a high-scoring game. I mean, yeah, you're going to get the turnovers from Jordan Love, but will that overtake the amount of points they're going to give up?
Yeah, the Packers, 3-headed wide receivers, like when they are facing a poor pass defense, like the Chargers this last weekend, we see they can really crush it. And the Packers are starting to come out of their crappy slump that they were in.
Yeah.
This year, and that's how you beat the Lions is you pass on them. So, yeah, I think it's just kind of a recipe for getting gashed through the air if you start him. So then Jordan Love, we already talked about him. He's in your lineup, especially if you need a streamer. And then, Aaron Jones, is he going to play?
I don't think he's going to make it, but since it's a short week.
Yeah, the short week.
But, monitor it. I wouldn't start him. I don't think he might goose you, just even if they try to make him active.
If he's active, you're not starting AJ Dillon for sure. If he's inactive, would you throw Dillon in your lineup?
If you're desperate, but I wouldn't.
If you're desperate, yeah, not against the Lions. The Packers, if they are going to do what is most expected of them, they're going to be passing against the Lions. So then Casey's brother, he's still out at the concert, or did he come back and decide to play football?
It's I really don't have enough information on when you can really start him, and maybe nobody does, but I feel like it's a great matchup to start him, but I wouldn't, because he hasn't really proved he can be consistent. And
yeah, I mean, I can't even find him on Yahoo when I search for his name.
Well, spell it.
To search Casey's brother.
Don't spell it Maggraves.
Did I put an A in there? Was it Maggraves? Yeah, last week he got 6 targets and 6 fantasy points, but
I mean, you could do worse, but it. Yeah,
it is a good matchup for him. So I don't hate it, but he is not fully healthy either, dealing with some ab stuff. But
yeah, been doing too many crunches this week.
Yeah,
give it a little rest.
Too many body shots to. I can't name a Casey Musgraves song, but
doing body shots on the 2 hottest girls in the world.
Yeah, with their little flannels and the one button holding their breasts in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I mean, but I think you start all 3 of the wide receivers.
That boy ain't right.
That have been fantasy relevant. Jaden Reed.
You want to start all 3 of those guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think you have to start. I mean, if you have one of them on your roster, you have to start them based on this matchup, and just knowing, they could get you 20 points. Their ceiling's high.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they all have high ceilings. I think their floors are pretty high this week too. I don't know. I'm just gas bagging here. And then the Packers defense against the Lions. I don't want to go there.
No, I don't think you start. I don't think Jared Goff's going to turn the ball over like he did last week. So.
Yeah, and those 2 running backs, you're never going to score that much against those 2 guys. Okay, let's go.
You play to win the game.
People don't realize it. That's why you play, to win. Next up on Thanksgiving, we got the Washington Redskins. Manders up against the... No, they're the Redskins. Up against the Dallas Cowboys. Over under 48.5. An even higher over under here. Sam Howell.
I think you can stream him, but based on just this defense being unbelievable,
Cowboys.
The Cowboys defense being almost unbelievable in almost every matchup they've had. I mean, you just got to expect lower numbers than he's been outputting. Maybe even 12 to 15 at most is the ceiling, I think.
Yeah. I kind of see him along the lines of Jared Goff this week.
Yeah.
I would put Jordan Love on a tier, and then Goff and Howell below the Love, but not that much difference between.
Yeah, I mean, I have Goff above Jordan Love, and then it's maybe Sam Howell, Jordan Love is equal to me.
I feel good about Jordan Love now. I think he's starting to make a comeback a little bit. It just the ebbs and flows. He looked like he was totally toast, but I mean, he's more of an ebb and flow guy, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is the universe.
So.
And the universities.
So, how do you feel about
I can't believe
Antonio?
You said that.
Did you like my joke?
I liked it.
Okay.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Antonio Gibson. You started with him and not Brian Robinson. Does that say something?
No, I mean, well, it means Brian Robinson's always in your lineup, I feel.
Yeah. Gibson? No, I think he's a shot in the dark. Like, you're hoping for a ceiling. You're hoping for 15, but, I mean, I think more than likely he'll get you 4, so.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. What do you think about him?
They've been both kind of fantasy viable the past couple weeks, so that's why I brought up the question, thinking.
I don't think he's really solidified himself as like a 1B option, you know, like a Jalen Warren kind of guy. But I mean, maybe he's getting there.
Yeah.
So
So
shot in the dark sort of play.
if you had to guess on the season in total, what is the ranking of Brian Robinson and all the running backs?
Out of all running backs,
Yeah.
I would put him at running back 10. Higher? 4? Brian Robinson is running back 4 on the year.
Yep.
Dang, he is not getting respect.
Yeah, he's sneaky up there, man. Yeah.
Dang, behind McCaffrey, Mostert, and ETN.
Yeah. That's
That's
what,
a sneaky. Yeah, that's a sneaky sneak.
and he's already had his bye too, so that's why I was kind of like,
Oh, that. Do any of the other 3 guys not have their bye yet?
Mostert has, McCaffrey has, and ETN maybe. Yes, they had their bye.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've all had their byes too.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah. Once again, yeah, no buys this week, so you'll be safe there.
I
Yeah,
lied.
no, okay.
I lied. Brian Robinson has a bye on the 14th, or
whoa.
week 14. So
Okay, so that excuses.
yeah, it
points
skews
a little
it.
bit.
Sorry.
Still a very solid running back on the season and not getting respect, I think, because of some dud weeks that he had.
Not very many actually.
Didn't he have like 2 dud weeks?
Yeah, but that's not very many.
Oh, it's some ASMR.
So how do you feel about Jahan Dotson? He's a question mark.
How do I feel about... That's my spleen when I think about Jahan Dotson. And no.
He's mostly on waivers. So.
Let's see if I can find it.
We serve food here.
Well, that kind of works, but nope.
This is a certified hood classic.
Wow.
That boy ain't right.
It only took me 15 tries. I'm a good DJ.
Okay. But
yeah, dude.
are you starting Terry McLaurin then this week?
No, how many? Okay.
For a friend.
Yeah, for a friend. I think he's the only one startable out of that passing offense. Shoot, man. Yeah, Jahan Dotson, 4 targets, 11 fantasy points, skewed by a touchdown last week. God, I hate it. I hate it. I'm biased because I drafted him. But no, I'm not starting in Jahan Dotson. I wouldn't start him unless you need a shot in the dark play.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could get 17 fantasy points. He could get a goose, and we've seen it.
Yeah, we have seen it. You know who's the safest here and who has the
Curtis
best?
Samuel.
Nope. Who has the best matchup for all pass catchers? The tight end, Logan Thomas.
Okay. All right. I agree
So
with that.
I would flex Logan Thomas over flexing Jahan Dotson. I
Wow.
feel like,
Wow.
and that's saying something. Tight end over wide receiver.
Yeah, that is. I don't want to flex either of those guys, but no, I can see your point there. So yeah, and then if you have a death wish, if your goal is to score as little points in your league as possible, then start the Washington defense against the Cowboys.
Yeah, for sure.
And then on the other side of the ball, oh baby, whoops. That's Ron Rivera watching his defense get boned by CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott this week. Certain fantasy player in our league with both of those players might want to stack them this week against Brian.
Yeah, but they've never used that stack ever.
They never have.
And it's weird. It's like, just because you have Josh Allen, I mean, whatever.
He doesn't listen, Brian. Don't worry. He's not going to put in Dak. He'll stick with Josh Allen.
He just follows the projections like they're the word of God.
Yeah, well, that's what Gotham does, and Gotham's first. So
yeah, I guess. Whatever, but
fantasy football. Yeah, no. Start all your Cowboys, right?
they're gonna blow up the scoreboard. I think I see this one-sided again, and it's just gonna be like
Do you think
30 to 40 points scored by Dallas.
Yeah. Do you think the Cowboys are going to do what they did against the Giants the other 2 weeks ago and keep passing?
Yeah.
So, what do you think about Pollard?
Not a good start.
Really?
Yeah.
But he finally did well this week against
I don't see him getting a touchdown.
What is it? Just this narrative that because it's a divisional opponent that they're going to run the score up on him passing like
I don't know. It's just a trend that they have. So it's like, I don't know. Pollard hasn't been super fantasy viable. I know he was last week, but I mean, yes, he's probably your RB2, and you're probably starting him week to week. But if I had a chance to start somebody, I would stream Tyler Chandler over starting Pollard this week. I know it sounds crazy, but I would.
You're a dumb shit. Now I went back in time and got a chance.
See, I
Tall
told
boy
you.
bet.
I
Tall
told
boy bet. Whoop.
You know,
That was the first drop
Sure.
triggered by tiny Asian dildos.
I'll do a tall boy bet. Ty Chandler scores more than Tony Pollard this
All
week.
right, it's a bet.
Bet.
That's a thick ass ball.
That's a thick ass bet. Okay, I personally would never start Ty Chandler over Tony Pollard. I think that what the Cowboys did against the Giants back in 2 weeks ago, where they just kept passing despite being up by over 20 points, I think that was an anomaly. They're not going to do that. They're going to have a more balanced attack against the Manders, and Tony Pollard's going to have a pretty good fantasy day with a safe floor of 10 points, I think.
Okay.
But I think his ceiling's way higher, and I think he's going to get more than that. And Ty Chandler, did I ever figure out who the Vikings are playing?
Yeah, we already talked about they're playing.
We talked about that game already? No, we didn't.
Yeah, the Vikings are playing the Bears.
Just played Denver. Yeah, the Bears.
So on Monday night.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty. Yeah, for Ty Chandler. Okay, I think it's going to be close. But
That's why I said it.
I'm still sticking to my tall boy bet, though.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going with the pedigree of Pollard, which whatever the hell that means. But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything at this point. But I think they're not going to be so pass heavy anymore. They're not going to keep doing that.
So
they're going to pass. They're going to get theirs. They're going to be up by 20 on Washington. Then it's Pollard from there, and I think they're going to do that.
So that means you're probably not going to start Cooks or anybody secondary option as at wide receiver. I wouldn't.
No.
Even saying what I said.
Yeah, because Cooks is still he's not getting enough targets.
I just think it's going to be Ferguson and
Yeah, I mean he got 10 targets against the Giants. That was the anomaly game that I'm talking about, and then we got 4 targets last week against Carolina, and they whooped up on Carolina, and still he didn't. So I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start any other Cowboys receivers, and I would start Pollard. I wouldn't start Rico Dowdle, but I still think he's a good bench stash.
Yeah, you got to stash him right now.
Rico Rattle.
Everybody's going down. I mean, if you're the Pollard owner, you got to be stashing him.
Right.
And
if you're the Derrick Henry owner, you got to stash Spears.
Yeah.
And Dallas defense, fire him up.
Hard start, man.
Hard start. And we talk about Fergie.
Yeah, you got to start Fergie too.
Yep.
He'll bounce back this week.
Laporta category every week start.
Yeah.
All right. Nice one. Good tall boy bet here. Okay.
The Bears are who we thought they were. We let them off the hook.
We got the Thursday nighter.
Thanksgiving full of football. Stay glued to your television. Don't talk to your family at the dinner table.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. You're going to be glued to your television to see if you owe me a tall boy or not. 49ers Seahawks over under 43. Thursday night football. Thanksgiving. I don't really see this over under hitting.
Yeah, I mean it could be mostly one-sided. with the 49ers.
Yeah, they're getting their groove back.
Their
In
defense
Seattle,
and offense.
And boy, if Geno's not starting and it's Drew Lock out there,
Yeah.
oh boy.
Oh yeah, hard start that defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can stream Brock Purdy, but don't expect a lot of points out of him this week because I don't think they have to score as much.
Okay. So Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, he's always in.
Oh yeah. You messing with any other Elijah Mitchell, any other running backs for San Francisco? No, that's the McCaffrey show.
And then, I mean, are you feeling worried about Ayuk and Debo and Kittle this week? The triad, the holy triad.
Yeah, I am. I mean, Ayuk boned this last week. I honestly don't know how Debo did, but I think it's going to be another one of those things where just one of them feasts. Whoever ends up getting the early score, and then that's going to be it, and it's going to be McCaffrey town the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So I think you want to build your lineup to where you've got safety, and you can have one of those guys in your lineup, but that means you need to have other guys in your lineup that are safer.
Yeah, it really is Debo that I'm worried about. I mean, he's not been keeping up to, with...
Yeah, just past couple of games since the bye, he's got 4 targets each. So,
yeah.
You're worried more about Debo than Ayuk?
Yeah, that's who I'm worried about. So
okay. I still think you can start him and hope for a bounce-back game. Yeah. And Kittle, I think he's startable as well.
Yeah, he's been on a roll.
Yeah. And then, we talked about it. San Francisco D, you want to start? The Seahawks, kind of an enigma. If Geno is playing, do you want to start him? I do not.
No. This is a week you don't want to start him.
You don't want to, especially coming off an injury.
Yeah.
That he's still probably dealing with.
It's
honestly,
a short
I don't
week
think he's going to play.
So.
It's a short week.
Yeah.
And I think you got to sit all 3 receivers. If Drew Lock is out there, which he probably will be, I think you got to sit all 3 of them.
It's just DK that I'm comfortable with starting.
Okay.
But yeah.
Just because he's so big, he's going to bring down the balls.
Yeah, he's the greatest talent on that team, honestly.
He's a great talent. Yeah.
I mean, then Kenneth Walker's a close second, so how do you feel about
him? Kenneth Walker, you know what?
He might be also injured short week.
Yeah, he might not be able to play. I want to look at his
oblique.
He gets targeted quite a bit, which I think helps him with Drew Lock. So if he is active, I think you start him, but don't expect a lot. But I think the pass catching is going to give him.
He didn't practice today, so
a safe enough floor.
I don't think I don't think he'll be in. So I think it's Charbonnet.
Charbonnet gets targets as well. Yeah, honestly, I feel better if Walker's inactive about starting Charbonnet than I do about starting Walker if he's active. Because you start Walker and he's active, you're going to have both of those guys still splitting, still have a hampered Walker. Charbonnet is going to get poached by Walker still. But if Walker's out, then Charbonnet's got it all to himself, and he can still pass catch. So yeah, that's my recommendation. If Walker's active, you start neither.
Yeah.
If you start Walker. You can start him if you're desperate, but I wouldn't start either if he's active. If he's out, I would start Charbonnet.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm down with that. Yeah. I just now looking at the season end schedule for these Seahawks running backs, like Matt really got one over on Mike with this trade because that's like,
dude,
the toughest matchup
for the running backs.
Yeah, for the rest of the season.
That's funny because the matchups for the wide receivers are one of the best.
Yeah.
It's just, God, I hope Geno can be healthy.
Yeah, I agree because I got DK, baby.
We can't go with Ludrock. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Mountain Dew name or something.
Ludrock.
Mountain Ludrock.
Yeah.
Code Red. This is Code Red.
Yes, it is Code Red. It's not Baja Blast. It's Code Red.
It's Code Red, baby. Noah Fant. Noah Ant. Get him out.
Yeah.
Start him, especially if it's Drew Lock. And then, he might do better with Drew Lock, but who knows? We don't have any history there, so we don't want to know. There's way better tight ends you can start. And Seattle's defense, definitely not. Right?
No, I'm not even going to answer that with a response.
All right. Moving on.
You don't play it, just play it.
That's what I like to hear. Don't even entertain those dumbass questions. And our next game, we have on Friday the first ever BF game.
It's BBF, Big Black Friday.
Big Black Friday, and you can watch this BBF game at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, so you don't even have to, try to watch it while you're rushing into the stores for capitalism and all that.
I don't really think they have those anymore. I think everything's just like
it's all online.
Yeah.
So Cyber Monday is what matters, not Black Friday.
Well, I think they still do Black Friday deals
online.
Not
everything's a deal, man.
Yeah.
No one ever tells you like, this is way more expensive than it usually is. You're not saving money at all. In fact, you're spending more money. No. This is a deal. This is a deal. I'll tell you what a deal is dumpster diving.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, Miami Dolphins against the New York Jets. Over-under is 40 points. And,
I see this game going under as a surprise.
Yep. It's a high-powered offense, but the Jets' defense is no joke.
Yeah, I mean, the yardage might be high still, but I don't think... I don't think they score as many points as you think.
All right, I believe that. What do you think about Tua against the Jets? Could be tough.
I think you have to start him because he's been consistent, getting you close to 20 points almost every week. But, yeah, I mean, if you wanted to pivot, I think this is the week to do it.
Who are you going to pivot to?
I like Jared Goff more than Tua this week,
really?
So that's what I would do.
You like Jordan Love more than Tua?
I like... Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be super confident there, but...
Brock Purdy or Tua?
Tua. I think Brock Purdy is less safe, but yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Dak Prescott or Tua?
Oh, definitely Dak.
Definitely Dak.
Yeah. I mean,
Trevor Lawrence or Tua?
I don't know. I mean, Houston... gosh. Maybe I would. Maybe they're going to be pretty much equal.
Danny DeVito or Tua?
Definitely Tua. Yeah, I mean, just
he
don't
doesn't like it.
Just don't expect as many points as normal with Tua this week.
Yeah, fair.
He's going to hard target Tyreek though still, so I mean he's in your lineup every week.
They're always hooking up in the hot tub, in the sauna, in the laundry mat.
Just don't walk around back and surprise them in the hot tub.
Yeah. Lots of people arguing naked out here.
Yeah.
No clothes on arguments. Garrett's going to be there for it. Like a
somehow
true
I
friend.
sneak up. Hi, I'm Garrett, Tim's friend.
You should have just pop up from behind the tub. Like, not even walk up. Hey, I'm Tim's friend.
I should have said that to him while they were outside. He would have probably busted hell laughing.
Daniel?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to just end that sentence that he probably would have busted.
That too.
That boy ain't right.
Yeah, so this game, Tyreek Hill, man, he's a boss.
Raheem Mostert, that's the question mark here. Because Achane probably won't play this game. It's kind of a short week again.
Short week.
But
we got some different scenarios to go through, though. I mean, with that... like Achane's out, Mostert's in for you?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, but Mostert, it might be a tough matchup, too, for him. I really just see Tyreek Hill being the most safest, highest ceiling here.
Yeah, I think you got to go with Mostert, though. I mean, you have to at this point. Like, he's earned it just like Etienne.
Yeah, for sure.
Top 5 running back, so...
but he might get you 9 points.
Is active, that's that's tougher. I think you still got to go with him.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters if Achan's in.
Yeah, I think he's going to be limited. I mean, Achan, they're really being careful with him. Achan wanted to come back into the game on Sunday after coming out, but the head coach, was it Mike McDaniels? He was like, no.
Yeah.
We're playing it safe with you. So I think they're going to play it safe with him. He's going to be limited no matter what. So I think Mostert's a start no matter what.
Yeah, and against this defense, I mean, if they're projected to win by 10 points. So, I mean, why have Achan even play? It's such a good defense that's going to potentially hurt him the rest of the season. Yeah, I don't see Achan playing, even though he potentially could.
So Achan is a sit for you, even if he's active?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I agree with that, actually. Yeah. Because, that's what we saw this past Sunday, and until he gets to the point where he's producing and healthy, I don't think you want to start him. You don't want to risk that, what's happening in your bench. Like, he could be the T. Higgins of running backs.
We skipped over Waddle. What do you feel about him?
No, I didn't skip over him. I had him in the back of my brain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think he's just, the Jets. Oh, man.
I think Sauce is going to be on him.
On Reek? Sauce is going to be on Waddle?
Yeah.
Why? Is he the deep field guy?
Well, that, and I think Sauce isn't. I don't know. Maybe I need to do more research on it, but I don't think he actually hits the number one of elites when he faces these teams.
Okay.
So
wouldn't they put their best corner on their best receiver?
And in some plays, I think they do, but I don't. I think he moves around and isn't always on the number one elites. But I think he did limit Justin Jefferson last year when they infamously played each other. So, yeah, I mean, if he's on Tyreek, I see Tyreek doing well still, but if he's on Waddle, he'll shut him down.
Yeah, I guess you're banking on who's going to be on who, but yeah, Waddle's been disappointing since his little hot streak back that ended in week 8. So I don't know, man. I like any of the Packers receivers over Waddle.
Oh yeah,
to be honest,
I like that.
He's got better matchups starting week 13, so I think you just got to make a judgment call on that one. Start him. Wouldn't blame you. Sit him. I wouldn't blame you either. Base it on the makeup of the rest of your team. I mean, that's what I'd say. And then Miami tight end. I don't even remember his name. Drew Smith.
It's Smythe, but no.
Yeah, no. I mean, I can't remember his name, so you're not starting him. Like, we haven't talked about him all year, and he's not becoming fantasy relevant.
I think we mentioned his name on every podcast, saying
not every podcast.
We know his name.
Smythe.
But
you're not gonna
I
Smythe
have Dolphins D. They're picking it up, man. They're doing better. After I dogged them.
You dogged him, dude.
I dogged him like third or fourth podcast.
You did. You dogged him hard.
Yeah.
I was like, pick him up, and you're like, buff. Yeah.
No, they were awful, but I don't know what's changed.
Jalen Ramsey's back.
It's Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard are both back, so that's it.
Hey, you can dog on the Browns defense if you want.
Nah, they're great.
Dog on the Addison.
They're historically good.
Maybe dog on Tyler Lockett.
Nah.
Dog on one of my players. Yeah, so, okay. That covers Miami. And then the Jets, pretty easy to talk about.
Brees Hall. That's it.
But what do you think about Garrett Wilson? Bad showing, but
he's injured. He was questionable. I decided to put him in my lineup just because he was getting targeted like crazy.
Yeah, he was.
It was like 12 to 16 targets a game.
Yeah, that's wild that you can have such bad quarterback play that he gets targeted that much and does not score.
Well, I mean, he
fumbled.
He was doing well most of the season, like 15 to 18 points a game. But now it's like, they done messed up that game.
Yeah. The Jets are pivoting to Tim Boyle came in at the end of the last game.
Yeah. Zach Wilson got benched, and he's going to start this week. Tim Boyle.
Bim Toyle.
Yep. Bim Toyle.
Toyle, Bubble, and Boyle.
Yep. So I mean, I'm not even risking it. Wilson's on my bench, so.
Okay. Yep, makes sense there.
He's on my literal bench too. So.
Was that a Judge Jerry joke or something? I don't know.
No, like he's on my literal team's bench.
Okay, but what was the first? You
I
said
told
he's on
you
your
to bench him.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
But I'm physically benching him.
Yeah. Well, makes sense. What do you think about Conkery?
Not this week, but he's definitely he's streamable at every good matchup. I think he's.
I want to see what he does with Bim Toil, so I'm curious about him in this matchup. I'll be watching, but
yeah,
you're watching from afar. I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's been solid most of the season, quietly, but I mean, yeah, I just don't have the guts, you know.
Yeah. And then the Jets defense here. Do you want to start them against the Dolphins?
I think you have to because you don't want to drop and roster 2 defenses. But yeah, it's a tougher matchup for them. But hopefully Tua can give you some turnovers and make it a good game.
Yeah, I think if you do have the space to roster another defense and play another defense, because you want to hold on to the Jets, I would look into that. But if you can't do that, they're an okay play. But for the defensive waivers that we were talking about, I would take Denver over the Jets this week. So,
yeah,
Denver
I mean,
against the Browns, I would take them over. I mean, Tyreek is always good for scores, and I mean, you got Mostert over there too. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're not projected the greatest this week.
They are at home though, so there is that. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this podcast, and we'll be back for another one.
Yeah,
talking about the rest of the matchups.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we didn't make it a mega, but it's gonna be a mega feast.
It was just more mega of a waiver episode because we talked about universes and stuff. We had four games to go over.
Oh yeah. That split it up, right? Because we usually just talk about waivers and then one game.
Yeah.
All right, make sure to soak that turkey in jet fuel.
Yeah, isolate the tryptophan and smoke it later. It's a good drug.
Yeah. Better than Bufo.
I read an article about Bufo the other day.
Yeah. Did it tell you that you see all of the other universities?
Yes, you can visit all of them. Apply to them. Maybe not. Maybe not again.
St. Mary the Woods College?
Don't they rape you
We
there?
don't even know where that university is. Yeah, they do. If you got a penis. Yikes. Sorry, Mike. Don't listen to the end.